What if everything you thought you knew about Taekwondo was wrong? You've seen the highlight reels, the spinning kicks, the perfectly timed knockouts, the crisp forms that cut through the air like a blade. But here's the truth. Most people, yes, even trained martial artists, are doing some of Taekwondo's most iconic kicks incorrectly. That's not an opinion. That's the verdict from world-class experts, national champions, and Olympic-level coaches. They've seen what works and what doesn't, and they're not afraid to break it down. So today we're diving deep. No fluff, no myths, just the 6 real Taekwondo kicks, as corrected by the experts. If you're ready to retrain your muscle memory, rethink your fundamentals, and finally understand what separates a black belt technician from the average dojan kicker, stay locked in. Part 1. Front Kick, Ap Chagi. Let's start with the kick every white belt learns first, the front kick, or Ap Chagi. On paper, it's simple. But according to Grandmaster Lee Dong-sup, former coach of South Korea's national team, simple is not the same as correct. Most students snap the leg forward with speed, but lose everything else: structure, timing, and intent. The front kick isn't just a flick. It's a controlled strike that starts with proper chambering. And chambering, in the expert's eyes, isn't just lifting your knee. It's locking in your center line balance and coiling your hip like a spring. Experts point out 3 major flaws in how this kick is usually taught. 1. Overextension of the knee. This strains the joint and telegraphs the move. 2. Flat-footed posture. A lazy base foot kills rotation and stability. 3. Neglecting retraction. A good kick doesn't end when it lands. It ends when it snaps back faster than it went out. National champion and biomechanics coach Minji Han emphasizes, a perfect front kick is 80% preparation and only 20% execution. So how do the experts do it? They lift the knee tight, toes pulled back, striking with the ball of the foot, not the instep. They don't just think about hitting the target. They visualize breaking through it with clean force, not speed alone. Part 2. Roundhouse Kick, Dollyo Chagi. Now to the flashier cousin, the Roundhouse Kick, or Dollyo Chagi. This is the showstopper, used in Olympic sparring, MMA knockouts, and every demo reel. But it's also the most abused kick in modern training. People mistake flexibility for power, says Olympic coach Nam Jae-ho. But without correct mechanics, even a flexible fighter delivers empty power. Here's what most people get wrong. They turn the body too early, losing hip drive. They strike with the instep instead of the shin or ball of the foot. They forget the whip effect. Experts describe the perfect Dollyo as throwing the lower leg like a chain, powered by hip torque. One major correction experts insist on is the pivot. The supporting foot must rotate a full 180 degrees. That rotation unlocks the hips and unleashes full force. Without it, you're just swinging your leg. Coach Han likens the ideal Dollyo Chagi to a baseball pitcher's throw. You wind up, shift weight, release, and follow through. Every piece is coordinated. For expert-level precision, they also emphasize line of sight, keeping the eyes locked on the target until the last moment, then whipping the kick across a tight, direct arc. Not a big circle, not a lazy swing, a weaponized crescent. Part 3. Sidekick, Yop Chagi. Now for the king of linear power, the sidekick, or Yop Chagi. It's feared in sparring and brutal in self-defense, and yet 90% of practitioners do it with the wrong kind of tension. They muscle it, they force it, they misunderstand its true engine: structure plus thrust. Master Choi Seong-ho, known for his knockout side kicks in international competition, breaks it down like this. Most people throw a side kick like a backwards front kick. That's wrong. The side kick is a push, not a snap. Expert correction starts with chambering the knee across the midline of the body, diagonally toward the chest, and stacking the heel directly behind the target. Here's where many fail. They lean too far back, thinking it adds height. It doesn't. It steals balance. They hit with the blade of the foot, but without tension in the ankle, making the strike soft. They never fully extend the hip, so the kick loses penetration. According to biomechanics experts, A proper Yop Chagi is like driving a battering ram with your heel. The body must be aligned in a straight line, from shoulder to heel, transferring force through the skeletal frame, not just muscle. National team athletes train it slowly, over and over, against resistance bands, walls, and air shields to ingrain perfect thrust mechanics. It's not flashy, it's not fast, but when done right, it's unstoppable. Part 4, Backkick or Dollyo Chagi. The most misunderstood of all, the backkick. Dollyo Chagi is feared for its raw power, but many treat it like a spinning trick instead of what it really is, a precise counterattack. Grandmaster Hwang Tai-il puts it plainly, the backkick is not a spin, it's a step-through missile. Most practitioners fail by doing these three things. 1. Turning their head too late, causing imbalance and poor aim. 2. Throwing their body around instead of stepping through the target. 3. Using their glutes too late in the motion, which kills force output. The expert-corrected Dollyo Chagi begins with a slight pivot, not a full turn. Then the fighter looks over the shoulder first, picks up the rear leg and drives it like a piston, heel first, straight into the target. No arc, no spin, just straight power. Properly done, the back kick is the single most powerful kick in Taekwondo, capable of dropping an opponent with one clean hit to the midsection. Olympic silver medalist Kim Dae-bin trains hers by kicking heavy bags that don't swing. They slam backward like they've been hit by a truck. Her secret? I don't twist, I launch. Part 5, Axekick, Dollyo Chagi. Elegant, theatrical, and devastating when used right, the Axekick or Dollyo Chagi looks simple. Bring the leg up and slam it down. But the experts caution, most people just swing their leg down like a limp rope. Axe kicking is not falling, says Master Lee Hyun-woo. It's dropping a sword. Mistakes commonly include lifting the leg without proper extension, resulting in weak impact. Missing the center line, which turns the kick into a meaningless slap. Failing to re-chamber, leaving the leg dangling and exposing the kicker to counters. Here's the correction. Chamber high, extend through the vertical plane, and use the hamstring, not gravity, to accelerate the downward arc. Striking should occur with the heel, straight onto the collarbone, face, or shoulder. Experts also keep their torso upright, not leaning back, ensuring accuracy and recovery. World-class competitors often train this kick against horizontal poles or with motion sensors to perfect trajectory, timing, and force. Part 6, Spinning Hook Kick, Dollyo Chagi. And now, the showstopper. The kick that ends matches and wins highlight reels. The spinning hook kick, or Dollyo Chagi. It's part technique, part timing, and all danger when done right. But here's the kicker, pun intended. Almost no one does it correctly. According to expert coach Kim Min-soo, most students try to spin fast and hope the foot lands. That's not technique, that's roulette. The correct version begins with calculated setup. Eyes spot the target early, shoulders rotate, the lead leg pivots fully, and the rear leg whips in a horizontal arc, with the heel acting as a scythe. Experts train this kick like a sniper shot, not just for speed, but angle and contact point. Common errors include over-rotating the torso, which unbalances the kicker, flicking the leg instead of extending the hip for proper reach, failing to disguise the setup, making it easy to block or evade. Elite-level practitioners disguise this kick with footwork, misdirection, and timing traps. They don't just kick fast, they kick when it counts. And the power? According to sports science studies, a spinning hook kick generates more force than a Muay Thai roundhouse when landed flush. So, how many of these did you get right? Be honest. Because the truth is, even seasoned black belts have bad habits. But the difference between average and expert isn't talent. It's correction. It's going back to the basics, cleaning up what you think you know, and owning every inch of every kick. These 6 kicks, Ap Chagi, Dollyo Chagi, Yop Chagi, Dollyo Chagi, Dollyo Chagi, and Dollyo Chagi, aren't just moves. They're expressions of discipline, biomechanics, and thousands of years of refinement. And now that you've seen how the experts correct them, it's time for you to revisit the mirror. Recheck your form. slow it down, get it right. Because in Taekwondo, every detail is the difference between a strike and a statement.